On today's episode of the Keep It Coming podcast.
Did you have like a final like moment, or are you just like?
I had a few.
Okay. I love to respect the people who came, before us and who really had to pave the way for us, because the industry was not always very welcoming, like you said. Claim.
She's an actual witch.
You actually practice witchcraft?
They say things about me. I don't.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Keep It Coming podcast. We have the amazing Miss Tori Easton here in the house.
Yes, hello. You look so hot. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Flew all the way from New York just to be here with us. You literally look like Pamela Anderson right now. It's so wild.
Thank you. I'm looking for my Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
Shayan.
look like Tommy Lee, so.
Well, we'll talk after.
Oh my gosh, and this is actually a double whammy episode because we have another sexy surprise guest also waiting
The
over
lady in
there.
red.
Yes. So I'm so
Love that.
excited. Two of the hottest girls in the industry. One the hottest girls. One former industry.
Yes.
Okay. So so let's talk about it. So you're in your rebrand era.
Yeah, you could call it that.
Yeah. So you were originally doing adult entertainment.
Yes.
Okay. And then you went from there to now what do you do?
Now what I do is I just live my life. Now
Yeah?
I did porn for a very long time.
Okay.
And it wasn't good for me in a whole.
Yeah.
And I strayed away from that. And
You're
now
right.
I'm in a space where I'm writing about my time.
Wow.
And I'm speaking to different publishers, and I'm currently working on a book.
Oh my God, like a tell-all
yes.
book?
Kind of.
Okay.
I wouldn't say tell all as much as it is self-help.
Oh,
kind of
okay.
sphere.
Wow.
Because it's not just about the industry.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And where are you from originally?
Originally, I grew up in the Midwest,
Okay.
partially.
Okay.
And then I came to Los Angeles very young,
Wow.
early teen years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. When I first saw her, I was like, oh my God, you literally look like a model. Like you need to be on New York Fashion Week for sure. But what do you do as far as besides writing, anything else that you do now or
Writing. So,
pursuing?
currently, I am working for mainstream films
Okay.
in wardrobe stylist.
Wow.
And so I wrapped my last film this past March, I believe,
Okay.
which will be coming to Amazon Movie in this December.
Okay.
And then I'm soon to start my next in late October.
Wow.
And then in between that, it's all writing.
Oh my
So,
God.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. What made you when was your moment that you had when you were like, I need to leave the industry. This isn't for me. Do you want to talk about it if you're comfortable
Which
talking
time?
about it?
There were many.
Okay.
It took a toll on my mental health.
Okay.
Just overall.
Right.
Many times.
Yeah.
There were many times I stopped myself and this
Right.
is not good for you.
Right. Right.
But at the time, mind you, I'm very young,
Uh-huh.
especially at that time. And I didn't know how to get out.
Right.
And so it was a sense of feeling trapped, which made it so
Right.
much worse.
Right.
But it was just a mental health thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not sustainable for me,
Right.
which is sometimes a common story.
Yeah.
Not for everyone.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who really love it,
Yeah.
and that's amazing.
Yeah.
This wasn't one.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I was an escort for 12 years, and it was one of those things where it's originally when it started, it was fun, and then I got into it,
Yeah.
and it just became kind of like a trap. And
Yeah.
although I'm very blessed for everything that I had and all the opportunities and everything, I still think it definitely took its toll on me.
I mean, it has its side effects. And I mean, it does its things. But at the end of the day, you get so much.
Uh-huh.
And as long as you're okay with that,
Yeah.
which going into adult entertainment, I knew. But before adult entertainment, I did the same as you. I was an escort.
Okay.
And that I didn't have a concept of it's going to take this from you. It's going to
Right.
cause this. And
Right.
that's something you're now going to have to work on as an adult.
Right.
That I
right.
didn't know because I wasn't
Yeah.
an adult. I was
Yeah.
basically a child.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. I mean, well, I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're conquering new things, and this is amazing. And I'm sure writing has been your therapy and healing.
it really has.
Yeah.
It's been an indescribable experience to put it down on paper
yeah.
and to have to admit a lot of wrongs right in front of my face,
Right.
which is very good.
Yeah.
But it's been an amazing experience.
Yeah. I've been really into Audible lately, so I've been listening to a lot. I would just finish the Holly Madison Down the Rabbit Hole one.
So good.
So good. And Julia Fox's look. It's so good.
Did you listen to Pamela's?
I did, yes. That one was really good. I know you remind me so much of her. It's so wild. And you and her are both in like your same rebrand era.
Yes, we're in our pickling era.
Yeah,
We're
she
in
came
our
with no
gardening.
makeup. they made her
"Please,
put on
just
makeup.
some lip gloss."
I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, this is great. That I'm happy that we're having this conversation too, because this is a pretty
Yeah, it's a very prevalent issue
Yeah.
in the community.
yeah.
And not many people, I mean, there's a lot of people who get out, but
Yeah.
typically from my experience is they kind of just vanish,
Okay.
which is very understandable.
Yeah.
It's very easy to want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing to speak about so people know there is an option.
Okay.
So,
Wow. And you are a fellow doll.
yes.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yes. Do you mind talking about a little bit more about like your self-discovery,
Oh, of
your personal
course.
growth? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you grew up in the Midwest, and how did
Yes.
you find yourself, I would say?
Well, so I always presented basically as female.
Okay.
Transgender at the time
Yeah.
was not a word in anyone's lexicon.
Right. Yeah.
As we spoke about before, you
Yeah.
had a similar thing.
Texas, yeah.
No
We
one
didn't
knew
know.
it was a thing. I never
Right.
knew it was an option.
Right.
I just kind of presented as female. People would still, of course, use the pronouns of
Right.
which they knew
Right.
and which I knew.
Yeah.
But then I found it on YouTube via Gigi Gorgeous, as a lot of people
Me
did.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, when hearing her say it for the first time, the
Right.
actual word transgender, you're like, oh my God, that's,
Yeah.
I'm not just like this weird in between. There is a
Right.
word
Right.
and there is treatment
Yeah.
in a way. And so that's where I learned about it. And at 13, I came out. 14 is when I got to start medically,
Wow.
which I'm so privileged and so lucky to
Wow.
have been able to do so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, then I went to Los Angeles not long later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, and that's good that because I transitioned as an adult, and I know there's a lot of debate on people asking me like, oh, how do you feel about kids? And I'm like, I can't speak on a topic that
Yeah.
I did not, So you are someone who transitioned as a child, and how was that experience for you?
Well, it's funny because I was so young, but
Yeah.
it was still back in that time when it was not a part of the cultural zeitgeist. And
Right.
so for that reason, it was actually a little easier than I can
Yeah.
imagine it maybe is for some today.
Yeah,
Because no one knew it was a thing. And so if I was just say, hey, I am transgender,
yeah,
people would just be like, I don't even know how to spell that, but
Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
And we'd go about our day.
Yeah.
Where now everyone has an opinion.
yeah, for sure.
And that is not great.
Right, right. And apparently we're like terrorists now.
Yeah. And,
Second time I've been called a terrorist. First for being Middle Eastern, now for trans. I guess I'm just ready to explode. It's wild. But yeah, so because all my friends who transition younger, they have no regrets at all.
None at all.
None of them do. So I don't know where these people are coming from where they're like, don't do that to children. It's like no one
Ignorance.
forced you.
I know where they're coming from. It's ignorance.
Yeah, yeah. And was it a moment where you were just like, I have to do this or
Yes.
else? Okay.
It was a moment of, which is shocking because I was so young, where I
Yeah.
said, now that I know it's a thing,
yeah.
you're not stopping me.
Yeah.
And if you try, I'm going to run away from you. Don't try me.
Yeah.
And that's what I did.
And you had a lot of support too.
I had a decent amount of support,
Okay.
but in a way of which they only knew how to give it
Uh-huh.
because there wasn't the knowledge.
Right. Right.
And they did what they could at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
So
No, for sure. Because back then I didn't know what trans was. I was like, I remember my mom we were like in downtown Dallas. We were like driving around and there were like these crackheads, and she was just like, those are trans people, don't ever. And I'm like, wait, what? Like that's a trans person? Like I was so confused. Or I would watch Maury or something and I felt like we were depicted in such a horrible light. And then it wasn't until I moved out here and I went to the Abbey with a fake ID at
That's
18.
you, yeah.
And I walked in and I saw these three girls and I was like, whoa, they're so beautiful. But I was like, wait a minute. And I gagged when I found out that they were trans. I didn't even know that that was possible. That I was like, oh, you're telling me I can look like them? Like, and then I went home and I did my research, and that was when I found, at the time, Gregory Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like, we kind of transitioned around the same time. So it was kind of, obviously she had more money at the time, so she was able to do it faster. I was a little slower.
I mean, that's just only normal.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Go, because everything was just like expensive, and it's just finding it and like finding the resources and
back
everything.
then, impossible. And what there was to find wasn't all that great oftentimes.
Right. Yeah, I had like my friends who would like take birth control and stuff to
I remember the soy milk diet. Yeah.
the soy milk
Full
diet.
of estrogen.
Oh.
Allegedly.
Oh
And I was
my
on that one.
God. Oh wow. Well, you look
Don't try it.
amazing. And then what brought you out to LA? Or wait, New York. Wait, you were in LA first.
I came to LA first.
Right.
I only went to New York a little over a year ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was when I kind of started moving away
You
from
look
the
so New
industry.
York. Definitely. You fit the New York vibe.
Yeah, it's a cunt. So what brought me to LA was there was nothing where I was, and I knew from Gigi that this was kind of the land of our people.
Right. Yeah.
So I came here, of course.
Yeah.
And it was like, to me, the holy land. And
Wow.
so, I mean, don't regret that at all.
Yeah. And you
it
were
did-
18 when you came out here?
No, I was younger.
Oh, younger?
When I came to LA, I was 16 going on 17, but to California in general,
Okay.
it was around 15.
Wow.
-ish,
All by
yeah.
yourself?
But like northern. No, I
Wow.
had a
Oh,
friend
okay,
who was
okay.
supposed to be here with us today, but she's a bitch.
Oh,
Her
my
name is Jade
God.
Venus.
Oh my God. Hey, bitch. No, just kidding. Oh my God. So you guys came out here together.
Yes.
Wow.
Midwest princesses.
Wow. That's wild. What, did you grow up on a farm or what? Corn?
My family owned a
field?
farm, but I
Okay.
was lucky enough to be of the from the aunt of which did not take care of it.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I grew up in Texas, but a lot of people think like I like rode horses to school and said no. I grew up in a suburb. There was no flavor, no nothing. I didn't know anything about culture or any. I didn't even know like other cultures existed. I thought there was just like white people and then me. And then I moved out here and I'm like, oh my God, there's Armenian people and then there's like all these, and I was able to go and like explore all the restaurants and
shock.
stuff out
Yeah.
here, and it's so fun because I'm like, which I don't know, I've always been interested in, and I would
Yeah.
get bored very easily out there.
Yeah, I mean, it must be a common Middle America thing because I had the
Yeah.
same thing, and even though my mother was very good at long before I ever transitioned to
Yeah.
tell me there was other stuff out there.
Right.
I just wasn't exposed to it.
Yeah.
And so when I came here, it was the same thing where I'm just like, oh my God, there's all these different groups of people who
Yeah.
are all like, you know, coexisting. And I thought that was always so beautiful.
Yeah. So cool. It's so great. I mean, LA can be a little shady
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah. Well, that's why I ran away.
Yeah. So what
Yes.
made you like get up and leave?
Well, because my whole time here was sex work.
Okay.
It was sex work prior to porn, and then the adult industry when I hit 18.
Oh damn.
And so, to me, it just all was all encompassing to the same.
Right.
And it was time to go. It was time to
Yeah.
see and feel like I was in the real world,
Yeah.
and to grow and feel like I was educating myself.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had no idea what I was going to be doing,
Yeah.
and it kind of found me in that way.
Yeah.
Which I think everyone at some point in their life should move to New York, or at least
Right.
move out of the LA. If you've been
Yeah,
here the whole time,
yeah.
this is La La Land, and
Yeah.
you need to go see the real world.
Right.
Give it a year, please.
For sure. No, literally.
And then come back. I'd be much happier here.
Yeah. LA problems are not real problems.
Really not.
No, we literally are. We have drama over like the dumbest things. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, they didn't tag me on Instagram. Fuck you. Whereas like people actually like live their lives other places. They always say LA is where you go create yourself, and New York is where you go live your life.
That's where you go with personality.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. These are my personalities.
Exactly. Those are all you need.
Yeah. And now as far as like being in the industry, because so our next guest, our surprise guest, has told me a little insight about the industry as far as being a trans performer.
Yeah.
What is that like? Because I've gone to a few of these parties and it's so weird because like I'll see all the male porn stars and they'll all like stare and then they'll like follow you to the bathroom and like slip you their number and like, and it's like they're like not allowed to be seen talking to us or like
I
being
mean,
with us, or like,
it's similar to how they act at just any other party, where
Yeah.
it's like they're like, "Oh, I would never speak to them." Oh, they're in the bathroom. I must go pee.
right,
Like,
right.
It's just,
But there's like a
which
lot
is
of these,
insane when you're in a sexually expressive
right,
workspace,
yeah,
and you're still like kind of shielding yourself in that way,
right,
and it just becomes a self-oppression kind of thing,
right.
where they're all lying about it,
Yeah.
and so they're all like, "Oh, I would never."
Because
But
I
all
hear they
are.
have to though, because wouldn't you get like blacklisted
That's how it
technically from
has
certain
been for a
industries?
very long time. Things are really kind of changing
Yeah.
a lot. I think that really started to take off around the time I started.
Right,
But there's still a lot of that
Right.
because it all comes down from the agents who were around during that time,
okay,
who still try to bang that gavel and say, "Don't you dare!"
right,
And
right,
it scares them because at
Right.
the end of the day, they're just trying to make their money and do their thing,
yeah,
and they tuck their dick in between their legs and they say, "Okay, okay, master,"
yeah,
and they don't do anything else.
yeah. Did you have like a final like moment, or you just like,
I had a few.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, it was just I would get to these points where I would do it a lot and I would really go
Right.
for it, which I'm happy I did because
Right.
it built this big library for
Right.
me to use for as
Because
long
I
as
hear,
I want.
yeah, I hear that's typically
Yeah.
how it is. Like the girls will live out here, they'll fly to Vegas, and they'll just work all week, and then
Yeah.
come back and recoup, right?
Yeah, which is kind of what I did, but I would really overexhaust myself.
Uh-huh.
And then it would just be a moment of taking a break, and my mental health wasn't great.
Right.
And then the final one, I was like, okay, this is not sustainable.
Uh-huh.
It's truly not. And so you need to really actually put your all into seeing what is next.
Yeah.
And if-
Wow.
if there's nothing next right now, you still need to cut it off
Yeah.
because you're not going to walk into the next door if you're still one foot in the other.
Yeah.
And so
Wow. Do you have any other advice for people out there for mental health, and how do you protect it besides writing? Like anything else that you
I
do?
wouldn't say I'm the poster child.
Yeah.
but
No, you are though.
I'd say nowadays,
Uh-huh.
within this past really year to 2 years, I've now seen companies like Pineapple Support
Okay.
come out, which is a company for sex workers to
Right.
reach out to for mental health,
Right.
either recommendations
Yeah.
for if they are at the point where they need someone for treatment,
Yeah.
or they just need someone to talk to. So that is an option now. That wasn't really a thing when I was deep in it,
Yeah.
which is run by the people who run Groupie, I believe. And they're doing amazing work. And so I love that things are changing in
Yeah.
that sphere and that there is an option.
Yeah.
Besides that, it's just remember to, if you're someone who lives in LA, leave LA every once in a while. You
Yeah.
gotta take a break every once in a while.
For sure.
And
Oh my
don't
God,
take the break just when you have a
Yeah.
breakdown,
Yeah.
as I did.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Because it's a lot different.
Yeah.
So just be aware.
Yeah.
Be aware.
And that's
Have
the
an
nice
end goal.
part about LA is because you could literally drive 2 hours anywhere and then you're in a whole
Yeah.
different world. Like we went to like his mom's like for Christmas, and it was like this completely different world where it's like riding 4-wheelers and motorcycles and shooting guns. It's
Yeah.
like fun.
People are people, and
Yeah.
they're not looking at you of like, oh, what can I get?
Right.
They're looking at you of just like, oh, is this a good person or is it not?
Right. Yeah.
Which makes a world of a difference, just maybe energy wise,
Yeah.
to be around.
Yeah.
Because when you're here, it's like you
For
don't realize
sure.
how long you'd leave, and you'd be like, how long was I in there?
Yeah. Well, because even when I go home to Texas and I like go out with my friends that are still in Texas, I'm like, oh my God, people actually like want to know what my day was like. Like, you don't want drugs from me. You don't, you don't want sex. You don't want anything. Like, you actually legitimately like care to know how my day was. And I think that's so
Humanity.
wild. But then I'm also like, why don't you want to fuck me? Yeah, it's
You'll get
wild.
there,
It's so wild. But yeah, having real conversations out there. I mean, I will say you can create your space in LA because
can.
I don't mean to shit on LA. I do love LA.
I do.
I have a lot of friends that I've made, a lot of people who have actually been born and raised here, like him.
That's very different. There's there's a lot of different groups of LA.
Yeah.
It's not just, the section that we love
Yeah.
to talk about. It's like, they hate to hear that because it's true. I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah.
Because it's very different no matter where you go.
Right. It's like the bully or like the guy who got bullied like comes out here and like suddenly becomes like the star or whatever. And then, I feel like that's a lot of like, or like the homecoming queen moves out here. And we're like, and everyone's been told they were like pretty or special and support. And then they come out here and they're like, oh my God, what?
They just become monsters.
Yeah.
But like WeHo culture is obviously so much different than, West Los Angeles culture.
Right.
Or North of the Valley or wherever.
Yeah.
And so
Being in the industry with, do you have like your core group of girls that like got you through that time?
Oh, girl, let me tell you.
Yeah.
If it was not for my two core group of girls, I would not have made it as long as I did.
Oh.
It was that support that really, was my lifeline oftentimes.
Yeah.
And you need that.
Yeah.
I think that would be my biggest recommendation is to find that.
Yeah.
Because that's how you will be able to sustain your mental health.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that we're talking. I mean, this technically will come out, I think, in October, but we are in September. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. It's something that I feel very strongly about because I'm someone who has battled with it. We've had we've had some close calls a few times in our life, and I'm very blessed and very happy to be here. And I do think that anything you're going through, it doesn't necessarily get better, but you become just a badder bitch, really. Yeah.
It's character development.
Yeah,
really.
for sure. I've had a lot of that.
Yeah.
I need a little bit of break. I just want to like turn my brain off and have fun. Yeah. Wow. This is so amazing. I'm so happy we're talking about all
me
this.
as well.
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm gonna swap out with her though.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Oh, you're gonna come over that? I know how to do that. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, good job, Nikki. All right. I'm going to put this here. Hi.
Hello. Is your mic okay? You're good.
I think it's great.
Okay, you're good. Is that
Now
your
that we've
water
arrived,
back there? Oh my gosh. So this is one of your.
This is the lifeline here.
This is the lifeline. Oh my God. How did you two meet?
Through that rap bitch.
Through the rap.
Who decided not to come today?
Oh, through the one that didn't
Good
come.
old Jade Venus. She was
Oh, I
the
think you're. Yeah, let's get. That
she was the
mic.
good old
Here,
in between girl. It's okay. I'm used to
What's that?
large phallic items near my face. How does it look?
Wow.
Is it serving? What's that?
Close enough?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
right there.
Because I feel.
I would say
Oh,
get
is
it
that
as
good?
close. Like yeah.
Just ever so lightly graze it with the tongue over the teeth and over the lips. Okay. Terrific.
Okay, so you guys met through the rat bitch. Okay.
She'll like that you said that.
Okay, my bad. I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
no, she loves that shit.
Oh, okay.
We've never referred to ourselves as women in polite company, so it's fine.
Oh my God.
We're those types of girls.
Yes.
But yeah, I met her through my old good Judy.
Okay.
And she connected us together, and then Jade connected us together, and then it's just been an absolutely symbiotic parasitic relationship ever since.
Yeah. Wow.
And that's why we're the Gorgons.
The Gorgons. This is your girl group, right?
Well, you know, because I think it's so sweet that everyone who's a stunning trans woman calls themselves a doll.
Yeah.
And then one day I was joking and I was like, all right, well, if those are the dolls, we're a bunch of fucking monsters.
Right. Yeah.
And so the Gorgons kind of happened.
Yeah.
And then that. From Small Soldiers.
The
I love
the
Small Soldiers.
Gorgonites. Oh
The
my God.
the bad
Yes.
guys, the little toys.
Yes.
No, Gorgon is a snake-haired monster that turns men to stone, specifically men. Gorgon has never turned a woman to stone in history that we have on record. So, because this did happen. And I had this idea for like, okay, well, let's pivot off of that. I like making projects for my friends.
Yeah.
I like, having fun with my friends. we made a wonderful film called Gorgons and Goddesses a couple years ago. That's where I met you.
I met you at Gavian.
Yeah, I met you at Gavian when. Oh, well, I met you at Gavian, but that weekend we were at AVN, the convention.
Right. Okay.
And we won. It won Best Group Scene. I won Best Actress.
Wow.
It won a few other things over the course of the award season, and that was a culmination of just I want to do something fun with my friends.
Wow.
I see good people. I want to work with good people. I want to make fun things, and that was all just because I was making fun of us.
Yeah.
I love it. No, yeah, I discovered recently I'm a brick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now what heinous, ugly person told you that?
Well, no, because we posted like a few little skits, and it was like me and my friend versus my other friends.
I subscribe.
And they were like, "Oh, look, it's the dolls versus the bricks," and I was like, "Excuse me, what the fuck?" Like, damn. Okay, fine, but whatever. I'm a proud brick. Okay, it takes a brick to build a home. Okay.
What's your definition of a goddamn brick then?
I don't. Apparently, it's me. So
No,
that's
it's
fine.
not.
Let me just grab my perk out of my mouth.
I'm from South Florida. I know what a brick
Okay.
looks like, hun. You're not that. You're top dollar. If I've ever seen it.
Oh my gosh. No, yeah. So we met at Gavian's, and I
Yeah.
remember I saw before I saw you, I saw the giant poster of you.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. And then I met you, and I turned to Anthony. I was like, is she a cis girl? And I was like so confused. And I was like, wait a minute. And then you were
The
like,
voice
that's
gave
me.
it away.
No, not at all. I was like, I literally thought, I was like, oh my God, she's like the girl on the billboard. Wait, that's so amazing that you're on there.
No, it's really cool. The industry is very judicious with the way that they dole things out, and they are very gracious as to typically give one trans girl that like poster spot,
Okay.
that like promotion, and
Out
they
of the 12
chose.
cis girls.
And then who can count anymore? Lord knows we can't. That's why we say for money.
Well, you
But-
definitely caught my eye because I remember
thank
seeing
you.
yours specifically and just being like, oh my gosh, wow.
My colorist says that no one who dyes their hair red is looking to blend into the background. But yeah, I was very fortunate. I was very grateful, and I got that nice little photo spot, and I got to send that to my father too, just show you this is what I'm up to. Hey,
I
Papa.
love that.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you came over to our hotel. We hung out, and I remember you and we just talked for hours, and you were telling me so much about. I've actually talked about you on the podcast about our story,
And I
what we
do like
talked
to
about.
try and figure out when people are doing that. I'm surprised it missed me.
Yes, because I talked about how open you were about talking about the industry, but also what went into the industry and the history of the industry and stuff. Because I'm a very I love to respect the people who came, before us and who really had to pave the way for us, because the industry was not always very welcoming, like you said.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's why it's so great to hear Tori's experience in the industry, because it's still very indicative of what that experience is like for certain people.
Right.
I'm very privileged, and I'm very aware of that.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky to be where I'm at in the
Yeah.
industry. And that is never lost on me.
Right.
But for me, I got into the industry because sex work makes me feel creatively charged.
Okay.
I use this as something to
Wow.
make me feel more like creative, and then I can launch up. Never in my life. I was I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I got my shit done as a makeup artist for
Okay.
9 years.
Wow.
I was able to support myself, and that was what paid my bills.
Yeah.
But I was never really fulfilled.
Yeah.
And I always came back to sex work because, much like you, I've been in it for 13 going on 14 years.
Right, right.
And it's something that I've always enjoyed doing genuinely. I moved to the West Coast specifically because I was like, okay, we're done. We're going to leave sex work over in Florida, and
You
we're
were
going to...
doing sex work in Florida?
Oh, yeah. First as a young
shit.
gentleman. And then a very, and then as a young God knows what, And then as a trans woman.
And what part of Florida?
South, of course.
South, okay,
You know,
okay.
In the swamp.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I had to compete with all those stunning Colombian girls who looked like Coke bottles, like a burlap sack full of basketballs. And then I'm just over there with my flat nothing, because if you don't do it, but if you Google pictures of me from a decade ago, you're not going to recognize what you're looking at. But that's what I had to work with, and I was very happy. Yeah. And it was just a really different experience. So I came over here. I didn't really have a concept as to what trans looked like, because in the very binary system of what South Florida culture is built around, it's very like, if you're a woman, that means you're a feminine young lady and you service your man. And that was what I was taught in the culture. That might not be everyone's experience. But I never really identified with that. So I just assumed that meant that I'm not trans enough. Yeah. And when I moved here, I realized that transness has a lot more multifacets to it, that it's much more complex than just the binary. Right. And that's why for a long time I identified as non-binary, even with my plastic surgery and, you know, wanting to pursue the way I wanted to look on the inside that I always thought I looked like. Right. I would look at pictures and I'd be like, well, this is just the worst photographer I've ever seen in my life. This person should be jailed. But I realized it was just because what I was seeing in my head wasn't what was physically there. 100%. And I just altered that gradually. And then I realized I am a woman. It's just that my womanhood doesn't look the same as this trans woman's female identity, and that looks different than a cis woman's female identity. And there's so much more nuance in gender than what we were really having that an acknowledgement about in South Florida. So I was lucky to move here and learn about myself, and that influenced how I went about everything from then on. I was like, okay, everything is gonna be a moral ambiguity or a gray area, and it's all about just trying to figure out like how you feel, and then how does that relate to how I feel, and just using that as reference points. Right. You know?
Wow. Wow. And you had talked about how years ago they would have a trans category, but the trans women weren't even allowed to sit amongst.
Yes, this is true. So what happened is back then it was a category that. So I grew up with Maury Povich, and that was what I thought was what womanhood looked like. I interpreted it totally differently. Yeah. And it makes so much sense seeing that representation and thinking like, damn, they really did just call us men on daytime. Yeah. You know, I get how that can be interpreted as really negative. Right. But for me, it was my first time ever seeing like, that looks familiar. Okay. I like that. Yeah. And it sort of grew from there. But so back then, transness was still, I mean, gay marriage wasn't legalized, and we were in such a weird space with LGBTQ culture. It wasn't even called that back then. You know, the term transgender when I was growing up was something that was often connected to cross-dressing.
Oh, okay.
So like in the chat room, if you put TG, we always saw CD. Right. And then and it was kind of like together. Yeah. And so that's why a lot of people from my generation will say I'm a transsexual, not a transgender. Right. Because that's the mindset that they go with. Yeah. However, I always like kind of identified with transgender because my gender is not sexual.
Okay. Yeah.
My gender, and that was another problem with living in South Florida, is that I was very discouraged from being the pansexual person that I am. It wasn't until I moved to Los Angeles that I realized, like, oh, yeah, I think I'd like to have sex with a man and maybe some other things too. Yeah. Some other people.
Yeah.
But that wasn't encouraged. So it's a lot more ambiguous than we've been led to believe. So back then, because it was so weird, and it was still something that had been happening for many decades.
Yeah.
But we were in a weird cultural spot. I mean, we had a Republican in the White House. It was a different time. It was a different time. And the trans people were a part of the end, like, scrolling credits of, like, the winners. Because that's when I learned that I won Best Actress the first time. It was the same thing.
Wow.
You know, and that was only like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, that I learned I won Best Actress, but it was kind of like what feels like as an afterthought. It isn't. It's just that we simply don't have enough time to put everyone on stage.
Right.
You know, with concerts, fucking Madonna has to spend millions of dollars every time she shows up late.
Right.
Because you rent out that space.
Yeah.
You know, you have to think of it from that aspect as a person who's spending all that money to get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were in that little scrolly space.
Yeah.
And because we were in that little scrolly space, we didn't get the prioritization. Because we didn't get the prioritization, we sat up in the rafters with the general public. Not me.
Okay.
But my mentor, one of my mentors, T.S. Foxy, who's been doing trans porn, who's like a good gal pal to both of us. 20 years, you know, just fucking being a light on a hill star.
Yeah.
That's a star. You should talk to her. She's fabulous. But she gave me a lot of that information, that it was a really complicated time to be a trans person in the industry with the awards back then. And we've come so far, but we obviously aren't done making the good work.
Right.
You know, and we're never gonna be done. You know, we've made so much progress. If you think overall, you know, we have consent talks, we have intimacy coordinators, we have talent liaisons, we have, you know, is everyone perfect? No.
Okay.
And they're absolutely gonna, they're not, but they're gonna fuck up, but they're also going to be your best resource as advocacy goes. For yourself as a performer.
Wow.
You know, it has the potential to be fun for certain people. And unfortunately, something that happens in our culture as trans people is there's a lot of survival sex work that happens.
For sure.
And a lot of people get into sex work for survival because they have no other option, because they were sort of, whether it was grooming or just...
they felt they had no other option.
There was no other option. They go into sex work because they literally can do nothing else, because they can't get a job at Kroger.
Yeah.
They're not going to get to be a bag boy at the local Publix that they're working at.
Yeah.
And so with porn, a lot of people end up seeing that as a natural progression. And it's really tough for those people. And I empathize so much with people who struggle with dealing with these inherent comparisons that happen in porn, because it's just, it's a job, but it also kind of feels like a popularity contest.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be. And that's why I'm very grateful for the sisterhood that we have now in the industry, because I think that we're able to really choose if we want to just rise above it.
Right.
I think there's a lot of girls that are still under the mindset of it's a competition and you're my competition and
Right, for sure.
But then
The
you
younger
have
girls, definitely. I mean, they still do. They still come in. And I was there before. I used to,
honey.
you know, compete
The girls
with
as a
everyone.
culture do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
they're always
just-
pinned against each other and
because
compared.
of the
And so,
patriarchy.
yes. And so it is ingrained in us, and it's so understandable for us to
Yeah.
then react to that over
Right.
time and, you know, see each other as
Yeah.
competition.
And I think with age, too, I think you realize, like,
Yes.
you really are
We
your
don't say,
biggest
we
competition.
don't talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
No.
See, with seasoning.
I am
With seasoning.
19 and a half.
Well, I'm only 16.
But yeah, absolutely. With age,
Yeah.
you kind of just stop caring.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Right.
Or you care too much, which can also
Yeah.
happen.
Well, like for me, it's like when a girl thinks I'm like competing with them, I'm like, no, sweetheart, I'm competing against not going to Taco Bell. Like that's my biggest competition, honestly. Like my mind, I'm so focused on like, oh my God, my mind, my like this, that, my hair, my this, my that. I'm so focused like on myself.
Yeah.
I don't even
You're
have time
busy,
to
girl.
focus
Get
on
on
the
someone
schedule.
else. Like it's like, you know, like
I'm still working on just not binge eating at 3 a.m. because my
Yeah.
fucking Ambien makes me so goddamn hungry.
Oh,
God, what's that
yeah.
about? It pisses me off.
God's a
Or the
cruel bitch.
the Xanax
He's
munchies
got a funny
are
sense of
real.
humor.
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
don't remember it
God.
afterwards.
So yeah, I have gained 25 pounds.
Well, you look
working in porn.
amazing.
Well, it's because some of it's gone to my ass, but that's because of black market silicone. You
Oh,
can
we love
bleep that if you
We
need
love
to.
that. No,
But
I actually want to get it done. Actually,
Don't-
I do.
I'm not going to be one of because there is a big movement in the industry to really discourage that, and I
Really?
totally get it. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Emma Rose had a beautiful speech at the Trans Erotic Awards last
Okay.
year about how embrace the body that you have, love yourself first.
Yeah.
You know, if you are having like thoughts of like I don't love me, you know, speak to a professional, stuff like that.
Wow, okay.
Absolutely. I think that's imperative as a
Yeah.
trans woman. And a lot of a lot of these men who contact us will say like, I think I might be a trans woman.
Yeah.
Do you think
Oh.
you want to get me on those estrogens? Do you think you want to do my first shot? You think I should get some injections? All that jazz. Honey, that's not my prerogative. Go talk to a gender therapist.
Yeah.
You need to be doing what most of the girls should be doing, and you'll be
mental health
married and
provider.
happy to
Yeah.
a cis woman one day, and good for
yeah.
you, bitch. But that's the thing is that we need to really focus on the mental health aspect
Right.
of
Yes.
it.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I don't think that silicone injections are the most safe thing to do.
Yeah.
No, totally.
I
totally,
think,
totally, yeah.
especially if you're not going to someone who's reputable.
Yeah.
However, there's one study that they have done because they don't give a shit about us. They're not going to study us. That says that most people who have adverse reactions from silicone injections, it happens because they are not going to a medical professional using
Okay.
unadulterated medical grade silicone. Now, every plastic surgeon's going to disagree with me here, and that's fine. They still do my liposuction when I ask them to, so shut up. But most people don't know where it's coming from. They don't know who's doing it, and they
Right.
don't care because we are in a fight or flight lifestyle
Right.
as trans women.
Yeah.
We're just trying
Just
to make a
instantly
day.
wanna-
Please
yeah.
don't hit me with a brick while I'm at Ralph's because
Right,
I
right,
just want to
right.
get a rotisserie chicken
Yeah.
and some sleeping pills.
For sure.
But
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
But I need tryptophan. But
No, I actually I legitimately like my first few years of transitioning, I had so much agoraphobia because it was like every
Legit.
time I went out, it was
oh my god,
something.
it's scary.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, as much as it is like, you know, I know we talk about like being passable and stuff, and it's like, no, you should do it for yourself and not do it. But a lot of times it is
Also,
a safety
you're doing it for your
thing.
safety,
Yeah.
yes.
A lot of times
There
it's
is
for
yes,
safety.
and I think that's where a big rift comes in the generations. I was talking to you before off camera about how a lot of girls from my generation.
Our generation.
Well, I know it is our
Yeah,
generation,
yeah.
but I feel like you're so young.
No, I just fuck 23-year-olds. No, that's it.
Fair enough. But I feel like a lot of girls that raised me started as showgirls. And so the
right,
culture
right,
was just
right.
really vastly different.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Jade about this the other day. I would be so fascinated to see what Tori Easton would look like if she had started on a mic.
great-
Oh,
like
like
you
in a
know,
different-
like
yeah.
learning how to have that, like just fuck everything. I'm
Right,
here to
right.
like just have a good time, and
Right.
and that's kind of a big part of being an MC at a trans club.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a big part of the culture that we're missing is that there is so much anxiety around just being a trans woman in today's society because we didn't have that same armor
Yeah.
built up being in our safety net of queer spaces.
Right, right.
You know, we kind of just went straight to, well, not me, but I feel like you guys just kind of went straight to the straight bars.
Oh, we did.
And you
That
had
was
to
what we
hit
knew.
the ground running.
Oh, yeah.
For us, I mean, it was all
It's hard.
conformity. It was all that.
It's so much conformity. And
I
that's
didn't
not
know-
necessarily a bad thing, but yeah.
Besides Jade, you were the first trans woman I had befriended in Los Angeles, even.
Yeah.
Like, and I had already been here for 3+ years, and it was just me and Jade.
Yeah.
And me and Jade grew up in the same way where it was all conformity.
Right.
You were the first that I ever got to meet and become friends with, especially, who came from a space that was much different, where they got to live in their, in their self.
Right, for sure.
And that made such a world of a difference. I mean, just in educating myself.
Yeah. 100%.
I love seeing you in WeHo.
Yeah. No, 100%.
When I first started going out with them, I was like, okay, I want to go to the Abbey. And they're like, or we could not.
Yeah. Like, let's go to a straight
I'm like, how about we go get rocks thrown at us in Venice?
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't. I mean, it made sense to me because that's also kind of how my friends. So I started transitioning at the same time with one of my best gal pals at the trans strip club that we both started working at. Wow. And she was very much, that's why I think you guys would have gotten along. Yeah. But it was the same thing of like, no, I want not you guys, but that person wanted a lot of male validation in order to feel like I'm a woman. The men want me. And that was the rift that I felt in South Florida, is that I don't want to go out for men to look at me. I want to go out because I want to laugh. I want to go be silly. Yeah. You know, I have only been pretty for a very small portion of my life. I got really lucky as an artist when I realized that my body could be my medium, because I've always been an artist in some capacity. And when I realized I could just like put this here and I could move this up and I could just shave this flat. And then I got to like really play around with that. Right. I got to experience a whole new life much later than my two friends had. Yeah. So it changed my entire perspective as to how you could go out and have fun. Right. So now I think it's whimsical when the men are flirty and polite. But I still get a sick, twisted joy with being so condescendingly vicious.
Yes. Which I picked up from her, thank God.
So fun.
Yes.
Because I love making them upset.
I'm very much in that space now, which I don't know if I would have picked up, especially at this age, if it wasn't for her planting that seed of your femininity, your womanhood is not based off of male validation. If it wasn't for her planting that seed, how long ago? We were talking about this earlier, 4 or 5+ years ago, however long. Yeah. I don't know where I'd be right now. Probably somewhere at fucking, what's that horrific dive bar in West Hollywood? No. I hate to name them.
I might get a booking.
It's a no-name bar, really. But I'd probably be hanging out there in the bathroom like, love me, please, call me pretty. If it wasn't for this one.
I just like to have a good time. Yeah. And if that's at the expense of a cisgendered heterosexual man, I won't.
Thank God.
Right. Well, honestly, straight clubs are so boring. I mean, they really
can
are.
be.
Yeah. They can't be unless you go with the purpose of looking at them like it's a zoo.
Oh.
I wish they had more gay strip. Well, they don't have any. Gay strip clubs here would be hilarious. Okay. Because in South Florida, all the gay strip clubs, at least 50 to 60% of the dancers were straight. So the second anything walked in with breasts, they would just lose their fucking minds. And then you could walk in and own the fucking bar for a whole evening. And it was just such a delight watching myself get prettier and then get more desperate. Right. And I got to finally like see life from the opposite side of the spectrum. Like, this isn't any better, but it is also very funny. Yeah. To just look at you wriggle like a worm on the end of a hook, you know? It's darling. Yeah. Because they want us to believe that we're second-class citizens. They want us to believe that we have to earn something from them in order to be valid. Right. And it couldn't be further from the point, because Hermaphrodite in Greek culture, you know, it was this creature that was born of Hermes and Aphrodite that was part woman and part man, and everyone loved Hermaphroditus, I think is the name. And that's where the word hermaphrodite comes from, which is an antiquated term we now call people who are not part of the gender binary intersex. It's actually very simple.
Wow.
But it's just so interesting that we have existed for thousands and thousands of years in culture. You can't, even what they've tried to erase through destroying literature and, you know, all that jazz.
Because in Berlin, I know, right? Didn't they?
Oh, they loved us in the turn of the century of Berlin. That you couldn't throw a cat down. So, whatever the phrase is, you couldn't swing a cat without hitting a transsexual on the street. You know, they loved that whole like ambiguous gender sort of thing. You know, Marlene Dietrich, Greta Garbo, these archetypes of breaking those gender boundaries. It was the thing in Hollywood. Valentino, not the designer, the actor, he was this mascara, eyeliner wearing, puss-faced actor who was so cunty and snatched, and that was a flamer. And the women loved him. You know, we've always been attracted to gender ambiguity. You know?
I mean, I like guys who wear eyeliner. It's definitely my type for sure.
I like a man that is a man but is a woman on the bottom. That's a lot of fun for me. Just, you know, the wide hips. Something to hold on to at night.
Oh my
Just to keep you warm.
In case the boiler burns.
In case my electric goes out.
Oh my God.
You're the lady with the plan.
But yeah, you know, I think that we have so much more just conversation to be had because we're still so stuck in this validation space. And the more people like Tori talk about their experience where they were just trying to survive and I just don't feel like you were given the resources that you needed. And then the antithesis, I'm able to have my conversation where I chose this lifestyle. I love this lifestyle. It fills me up. Not a pun. And it does so much for me. These two people can exist, be friends, reach across the aisle, see eye to eye on the core things that bring us together.
And learn a lot from each other.
And learn so much. And then not have to agree on everything at the end of the day. This is one of my best friends that I've been able to develop in my time, not only in Los Angeles, but as a queer adult. You know? And the fact that we're able to just exist, find common ground, have fun. And not agree on everything. Is really imperative to the human experience, you know?
And it's crazy because so recently, I've always like had my fascination with the world of porn, you know? And I was like, okay, like I would be kind of down. And when I started getting really into OnlyFans, that was when I was getting hit up by a lot of, you know, people being like, oh, come do this or come do that. And it was actually wild to me because some studios, they offered like, oh, come over at $200, we'll own your rights, this and that. I'm like, that is so...
What studio the fuck was that?
I won't air them.
All right, you can tell me off there. We could bleep it.
It was just so crazy to me because I was thinking like, thank God I'm in a place where like, I don't necessarily need that, but to a girl who does need that, selling all your rights to like that they can just use.
They're trying to do that with AI now too.
Like it's just so crazy. I know I made that mistake. I accidentally signed a little contract. They took a bunch of my photos. Apparently there's an AI bot out there of me, but I did not make a single dollar out of it.
Not a single?
No, not a dollar out of it. Yeah.
I was offered a contract in the last Expo Miami we went to, which I believe was 2 years ago.
They
offered me a contract where I did get a lump sum of 6 figures.
Oh, shit.
And then there was a questionable amount of residuals. And I was like, this sounds like an amazing deal. And I'm like kind of thinking about it. And this woman walks away. And someone who I don't know their name to this day, and thank you, whoever you were, because he just snatched me by the shoulder and he said, do not sign that. And walked off. Like he was like into the Miami. It was like I'm like, okay, well,
very
I'm not
Miami.
I'm not gonna not listen to this man.
How do you feel about the future with AI and porn?
So
gut wrenching.
So For me, para me, as an artist, I think that whatever AI can do, a talented person can do and do it with spirit and heart and soul.
Right.
So I have a complicated relationship with AI. I'll be transparent and say that I've dabbled in using it for proofreading or maybe spicing up a joke for a project, perhaps. But I think that it should be used as it is intended.
And to humanity.
Well, it's an improvement to humanity, not as a replacement. My alter mater, my mentor, Brittany Andrews, she swears by it for her health.
Oh, okay.
She is chronically ill. She has autoimmune disease. She just had to deal with bullshit with her face that happened, and that we're plastic surgery enthusiasts in my house. So, of course, my mentor would be, my sounding board for everything we want to do with each other. But she had a horrible situation with her breast, and there's just so many different things. If it wasn't for AI, a lot of the things that she's been able to solve with the after effects of her surgery, the doctors weren't agreeing with her.
Yeah.
But AI was really helpful for that.
Wow.
Now, do I think that it's appropriate for a grown adult to use AI to do your artistic work for you, and your covers of your adult films should be made by AI, and your advertisements for your films should be AI, and your Instagram should be predominantly AI? Unless you're specifying that, I don't think that's responsible, because someone else is going to do it better. And that's also the problem with adult film. People want to take the easy way out. So a lot of people get into adult film because they want the validation.
Right.
They want to feel like a star without having to garner a lot of talent and work on their craft.
Yeah.
I got into adult film not because I thought I was good at it. I'm not saying I'm better than